Hello, my name is Justin Ponzio, and I am the principal here at Buchser Middle School. It is my true honor and privilege to welcome all of you to our Bobcat community. We hope you enjoy this presentation and look forward to seeing you and your students on campus. We cannot wait to be here to serve all of you. Thank you, and go Bobcats.
Hello, my name is Gilbert Montiel, one of the vice principals at Buchser. I would like to share with you how we view discipline at Buchser. We have a team approach in working with students consisting of administrators, school counselors, and wellness coordinator. We work with the understanding that our sixth graders are tweens and that they need a team that can offer support based on their needs and level of maturity. We know kids will make mistakes, so our approach is to guide them in learning from those mistakes in a supportive manner. Oftentimes, you can find an administrator and school counselor working together with a student. This is done because our team realizes that addressing behavior is not done effectively in silos, but through collaborative support. We look forward to your child becoming a Bobcat and building positive relationships with students and staff at Buchser.
Good morning, Buchser families, or afternoon, depending on when you choose to watch this video. My name is Marcy Van Horn, and I am the sixth grade school counselor at Buchser Middle School. I've been in the district for 16 years. I was a former teacher in the district. I'm actually at Buchser as well as sixth grade and the school counselor. I just wanted to introduce myself and welcome you to Buchser Middle School. Many of you are probably wondering or not familiar with what a school counselor is. I think our feeder schools have wellness counselors, but they don't have specifically a school counselor. So what a school counselor is, it's a certified educator who works with students, families, parents, teachers, administrator, and the community to develop a comprehensive school counseling program. We target students' social, emotional, academic, and career needs. And we provide indirect and direct services to our students. This can be in the form of classroom instruction, working with classes and teachers, and providing curriculum in regards to how to stay organized, how to read a schedule, how to navigate stress in middle school. In addition to that, we also meet with students one-on-one, meet with families, we meet with outside service providers, we collaborate with teachers and administrators, all with the shared common goal of student success and student safety. We also triage and assess for student need to ensure that we create the most optimal learning environment for your student. What I love about Buchser and what I think makes Buchser unique is that we're quite in tune to the middle school brain. I love middle school, and I like working with middle school students because they are learning and growing so much in 3 years. An incoming fifth grader, when they come as a 10, 11-year-old and leave as an eighth grader, almost ninth grader, even though it's only 3 years, 10 to 13, there is so much growth. And all of us are very aware that the brain grows a lot, but it doesn't fully grow until about age 25. Unless you're my brother, he is 37 and I'm still waiting, but I'm not going to hold my breath. And all kidding aside, we know that in middle school, it's the time to make the mistakes. It's time to push boundaries, especially with mom, dad, grandma, aunt, uncle, guardian, caregiver. It's also a chance for sixth graders to really start to learn about themselves, what they like, what they don't like. And we take all of this into consideration when working with our sixth grade students. More than likely, I will probably be the first person that your fifth grader will meet from Buchser Middle School. I will be presenting in all of the feeder schools to your students a presentation different than this one that kind of focuses on what middle school is about and what to expect, and give them kind of a sneak peek on what Buchser will hold for them. And so I just want to let you know that I will also be doing a presentation for them. Is that we are a school within a school, and we know that it's a transition year from elementary to middle school, and we also recognize that there is an academic and social environment and climate that comes into play in middle school. So, to talk a little bit about the school within the school is that many students coming from elementary are with one core teacher. They have one classroom and they're in the same class with all of their classmates. They have a desk, they have a chair, they have a cubby space, they have a backpack hook, and the students usually stay in that classroom all day. We have designed sixth grade to kind of include some of these fifth grade elements just so there's a level of comfort while getting them ready and transitioning them to more of a traditional model of seventh and eighth grade in high school, how they're set up. All sixth grade students are located in what is called the O Quad. They're also B numbered classrooms. The majority of your sixth grade students' classes will be in here with the exception of science, which has their own building because they have chemicals and things like that, and music if your student decides to take an elective, and electives will be discussed later in this presentation. And then, of course, PE takes place all over campus with all the different facilities we have. We have a football field, soccer field, we've got baseball diamonds, 2 gyms, tennis courts, basketball courts, and so forth. Instead of having sixth graders go to 6 different classes with 6 different teachers, like seventh and eighth graders, and then high school eventually, and how that's set up, our sixth graders, for the most part, will have 3 teachers, sometimes 4 if they have a music elective, and they'll only have to really get to know 3 different teachers, 3 different styles. Those teachers often teach more than one subject, and so it's nice to go from elementary that had 1 teacher to then 3 to 4 teachers, and then eventually the goal is 7th and 8th grade that have 6 teachers. We also recognize that middle school is a time to be social and focus on academics. They're coming from elementary where they've had pretty much the same friends their entire career. Oh, and there's the lunch bell now. And now you're coming to Buchser where there's more students, many more people to meet, which is awesome. And so our sixth grade teachers and team do a really good job of incorporating a lot of social activities as well. We also focus a lot in the counseling department on how to maintain relationships, create boundaries, and how to interact with one another and others on campus. There's a big focus on, for example, email and email etiquette, and why we don't want to email someone using all capital letters, and how to have conversations with one another that are appropriate, how to also have a conversation with the teacher, and how to ask and get the right help. From me, a typical sixth grade day. So lunch for sixth graders for this current school year is separate from seventh and eighth grade. Seventh and eighth grade have lunch after the sixth graders, and so they have the campus during lunchtime. We have an excellent cafeteria staff that makes some really, really good food. Students also collectively move from class period to period together as a team. So much like how they move and have the same classmates in fifth grade, they will also have the same classmates in sixth grade. However, what's different is that they don't have their own desk with their stuff and cubby hook. They're the students are now the ones that are moving collectively as a team from class to class. So I always like to tell the sixth graders when they get here, if you're lost, it's okay. Find someone else on your team and go with them, because it's better to be lost together than alone. There is the exception of our Explore PE and Music elective. Depending on the student's schedule, they may have to go to a different class on their own, but it's always with sixth graders, so they'll have somebody else to go walk with. For this school year, this is our current schedule, and you'll notice that we have a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday schedule, and then we have a Wednesday early out schedule.
Hi, I'm Celia Biggs, and I'm one of the sixth grade teachers. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about teaming. Buchser teams 3 different ways. The first way that we team is about whole child. So really it's 3 teachers within the sixth grade who share the same number of students. We're able to talk about the child's strengths, any concerns we have about the child. We can plan together so that kids can see the same information across all disciplines, really whole child. The second way that we team is by grade level. So as a sixth grade team, it's all about sixth grade, all things sixth grade. And really it's about equity. making sure that all sixth graders and all sixth grade classes are teaching and receiving the same concepts around the same time. We talk about what works and what doesn't work, and we share resources. And then the third way that we team is by department or subject matter. We share curriculum, talk about trends, we discuss whole school assessments, we discuss where are we and where are we going and what do we need for next year. So Buchser really values teaming as a school. Hi, Celia Biggs here again. I want to talk a little bit about transition to middle school because it can be very difficult for the child and also for the parents. Just a few years ago, I was in your shoes and I was very concerned about my child going from fifth grade and transitioning into middle school. And I had so much faith in Buchser Middle School that I placed my daughter here. So I do know a little bit about what you're going through. So let me give you a little bit of a hint. One of the major differences is how we communicate. There is no longer a Wednesday envelope that your child will bring home. Most of the communication that will happen will be through School Loop, which is an automated system. That's where teachers will post their grades. They will post assignments. They will communicate to whole class. Also, students will get emails. And so we encourage your child to email their teacher. And also, you'll feel free to email the teachers if you have any concerns. This year is our last year using agendas where we had the students write down their homework on a calendar. We're going to transition into the Google Calendar, and we'll ask students to open up their Chromebook and to write down their assignments in their Google Classroom. And then again, Google Classroom will be used where we will post assignments, and that's where kids can find any missing work if they're absent. So we'll use all of those systems as a way to communicate. And I think the last thing that I think is really important that parents should know is that we'll have letter grades in middle school, which is kind of different. Sometimes that's a hard adjustment for students, but we are very well versed in making sure that your child transitions into middle school. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about Explore. Along with the 5 classes that your child will take, 6 classes, science, social studies, math, a reading, and then a writing class. They're going to take a PE Explore. So PE Explore is on one day they'll do PE, and on the next day they'll do what we call Explore class. They'll have the opportunity to take band or orchestra. And if they choose not to do band or orchestra, then they'll be on part of a wheel with their homeroom teacher where they might be exposed to art or animation, technology, study skills, math enrichment, social emotional learning. So we want to expose students to a lot of different things. So that's kind of the Explore period for this year. And it may look a little bit different next year, but your child will have a lot of opportunities to look at new and exciting curriculum.
Good evening. My name is Kendra King, and I teach on the Panda team. I teach English Language Arts, PE Explore, and Social Studies. I'm here to talk to you about the clubs and after-school activities that your child can participate in. There are many to choose from, including the Glee Club, World Club, Queer Club, and Gaines. There's also a debate club this year, and they kind of add to them each year. So there's going to be many choices for your child next year. Things also that we offer: homework club, which could be offered either at lunchtime or after school, lunch bunch, after school sports, the YMCA, web, and ASB. So your child has many options to engage outside of the regular classroom with their interests.
Hello, my name is John Schaefer. I'm the Wellness Coordinator at Buchser Middle School. Our mission is to create a caring and connected culture to positively impact academic success and build capacity for social emotional growth. We want to ensure all Santa Clara Unified School District community members, that is students, parents, and staff, have access to resources and support for emotional and academic growth. The Wellness Center is located in room E2 on the Buchser campus. If you'd like more information, I can be reached by phone or by email. Welcome to Buchser, and I look forward to supporting you and your student.
Hi, I'm Stacy Nguyen, and I'm the site director of the YMCA program. Our program is a grant-funded after-school program located on Buchser campus. We provide a safe space for students to do their homework, socialize with peers, and learn new skills. Our staff are trained throughout the year in behavioral management, homework support, first aid, CPR, social emotional learning, and they also have access to School Loop so we can check the students' grades and assignments. A typical day at the YMCA starts off with a 15-minute check-in after the last bell rings. Students have 15 minutes to go through their lockers, go to the restroom, and do whatever they need to do before checking in with their program leaders. If students have not checked in within those 15 minutes, we usually call home, figure out if they got picked up early, or we'll even make an announcement on the school's PA system if you tell us that they're supposed to be there for that day. So we make sure that, all the kids are accounted for when they're supposed to be at the YMCA. After sign-in, we do 45 minutes to 60 minutes of homework time, then give the students a healthy snack before letting them choose what activities they want to do next. Some of the activities that we usually do after homework time is the sports, group game, some sort of art activity, or if they need extra homework time, and there's always that option. After that, all the students usually gather in the portable where they're allowed to just hang out with their friends, play games, and wait for pickup. On Wednesdays, we have early release, so we use that extra time to do enrichment clubs. The curriculum is usually prepared by YMCA staff, and oftentimes we introduce our interests and skills to the students. We've had clubs like cooking, chess, painting, music, flag football, just to name a few. Our program runs every day that school is in session from the time the kids get out of school until 6 p.m. Now, since we're a grant-funded program, students are required to be at the YMCA at least 3 days a week, 9 hours a week. If they are involved in a parallel program, like an after-school sport, it counts towards those hours. We just ask that you make sure the student comes and checks in with us before going to their other activity, and then once that activity ends, they're always welcome to come back to the YMCA before getting picked up. Our max enrollment is 120 students, and we offer financial assistance for anyone that needs it through our annual giving campaign. I look forward to meeting with our new families and supporting you guys through middle school.
It's Miss Van Horn again. I'm here to talk about the 6th grade orientation, also known as Track the Cat, where every bobcat belongs web. This is the 6th grade orientation that takes place about a week or so before the start of school. It is for 6th graders, and what it is, it's an orientation where our 8th grade students, they run the entire thing. And so 6th graders are placed into groups, more than likely with students that will potentially be in the same classes. And our 8th grade students play activities, get to know one another, give everybody a tour, and kind of talk about what it's like to be a 6th grader, because 8th graders were once 6th graders and in their shoes. In the summertime, our 8th grade web leaders will call the primary number that we have for your student in Aries, as well as the email on file that we have in Aries, an invitation to attend Track the Cat. I would highly recommend and suggest that you double check your primary contact and primary email in Aries, which means going to your school secretary at your current elementary site, just to make sure the information that we all have in our district database is accurate, because that is where the phone call and the email invitation for the 6th grade orientation will be sent to. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you 6th graders at Track the Cat.